is looking at them losses and you literally want to crawl on the floor. You want to get buried today. Every time you see red, listen, in Forex, if you stop using pain as harm, but use it as growth. I'm not hearing you talking about $1,000 will yield $5,000, unless if you are the people that are in the circus that are ready to flip the whole thing, which is fine to flip the whole thing if you have the money to fund again. I need you to stop looking at your losses as pain. I need you to stop associating your losses as pain. We do understand that when we were growing up, pain was always equivalent to harm. We were told that don't touch this, you will get burned, okay? Don't climb the trees, you will fall. But we're never told that when you're climbing the tree, you are learning skills as to how to climb the tree. That is good, because now you know, okay, in order for me to get on top, I need to hold this branch, I need to hold here, and then I need to put my foot this way. That is a skill to get on top. So that is growth. So I'll need you to start associating the losses with growth. You've made it this far in the series, and I'm glad that slowly the people that thought this is one of the channels that is looking for numbers, therefore they make clickbait videos to get the numbers, not one of those channels, and those people are slowly leaving the channel, which is good. So we now have true traders and the people that understand that in order for you to get to the top of the mountain, which is your peak of your career, which is having success in this market, you need to set realistic goals and you need to be realistic with trading. In Forex, if you stop using pain as harm, but use it as growth, because when you have felt pain, you don't want to sit on the pain. You want to learn from the pain. And that is where growth comes from. That is where you will stop repeating over trading. Stop repeating, taking losses after losses, because you have not yet reflected and reviewed why you took those losses. So you would have to set realistic goals. This one is something that on the channel we have already talked about, and in this series we have talked about it twice already, that you have to start setting realistic goals for yourself. If you want to use $1,000 to start your personal account, because I'm not talking about prop firms here, because I myself only have one prop firm, which is FTMO, and now I'm looking at my personal account and the funded account. And I said on the channel, I'm slowly even leaving that. I'm using the personal account because I'm where I need to be now with my personal, okay? For an example, if you have $1,000, I'm not hearing you talking about $1,000 will yield $5,000, unless if you are the people that are in the circus that are ready to flip the whole thing, which is fine to flip the whole thing if you have the money to fund again. Because in that one specific $1,000, right, you can have two chances to get to the 5,000 or to get to the 3,000. And if you don't make it on the second time, the money is gone. So you need to prepare yourself to have more again. And then when you have more, you still have to minus still have to minus the 1,000 that you have already put before you've made the 3,000. So the whole flipping mindset, honestly, it doesn't really work. So that's what I'm saying to you now. Set realistic goals. 1,000 can yield $50. 1,000 can yield $100. For what? For what? What do I mean when I said for what? Because $1,000 is not going to be a life-changing money, right? $50 from $1,000 is not going to change your life, right? That's why I'm saying you need to ask yourself, what is it for? Am I drawing it out? Am I leaving it in the personal? Am I compounding it? Do I want to leave it there for a while and then keep on compounding it, or do I want to do something with it to reward myself for actually making profit out of this capital that I've put in the broker account? It's a decision that you make. Right? That is why I never come here and tell you this. I said at the end of the day, you need to make a decision for yourself, because you, the trader, you, the one who's in front of the screen, you're the one who's in front of that phone, you're the one who put the money. The decision has to be made by you. All right? Because on $1,000, myself, if I have $1,000 in an account, I am taking out every time there's a profit. I'm taking out the percentage and starting over again, because each and every account I have, it's not for compounding. Some account, as I've been saying, if you've watched my channel from last year already, I've said that there's an account for specific goal, for expense, for travel, and then there's a compound account. So that's why I'm saying that I can't tell you what to do with your own money, but I can tell you what I do, and if you want to apply that. And I hope that you don't twist my words, because they are my words. If you want to twist them, make sure that you bring them back to me when you're done twisting them. All right? And then you're going to have to invest in books. All right? There are so many good books that I've shared even on my Instagram. All right? So if you want to start with Atomic Habits, that would be good to break down the very stubborn habits that you have. You want to invest in books, you want to invest in your education. The education is not you paying for a mentor. The education is in the book. All right? And then you're going to make sure that you apply whatever knowledge you've received from that book, you apply it in small portions. You don't read the whole 500 pages book. You read just the first page or first chapter, second chapter, and then you apply that, and then you write what you've learned from the book, you apply it in your daily life, and you see the improvement there. This one is quite funny because people, once you mention this, people, they think that, oh my God, I'm going to be a monk now, I'm going to be practicing Buddhism. Listen, practice breathing. Practice breathing. After all, this is a psychology channel, all right? And it's not somebody who just come in here and talk about psychology when I don't know what I'm talking about. I do have a model or a module in my course of study in psychology. In case of you wonder why I love psychology, I do have a module in my course, psychology. So these are the things that I do because I've studied them, okay? So you do want to practice breathing. Breathing does not now mean you'll be in front of your charts and you'll be breathing in and out because the trade is in red. My love, you could be breathing taking a shower. You could be breathing brushing your teeth. Okay? You could be breathing taking a dump. You could be breathing just walking. But practice to breathe appropriately, the right way of breathing, to calm yourself down when you are in those losses. Because once you start breathing properly through your stomach, not on your nose, you would see the change in your mind. Because when you breathe properly, your mind starts to function better. Okay? So when you're seeing that red, breathe. When you're even seeing green on your screen, breathe. Take it in. Tell your mind that every time I'm seeing red or green, it does not matter. That's why you breathe, so that your mind gets used to that. Because you can always trick your mind, okay? You can always trick your mind. That is one method I've been using now for the past 3 years, and it works. Whether I'm seeing green, whether I'm seeing red, I always breathe. Whether I'm reading, I'm breathing properly, because that's how I take information in, but that works for me. So it's also a decision you want to make for yourself, if that's something you want to put in your plan. Breathing. Okay? And you need to stop comparing yourself. Your account is very tiny. The money that you've used for prop firms, it's very small. There are people who bought 5 accounts with $5,000 to their name, and they only passed 3 of those accounts in prop firms. And they are able to come to you or to come on the screen and said, I've made over 500,000 in payouts because of I had to risk 5 and I only passed 3. All right. It's the same for you. So you're going to tell yourself that I don't know that person's condition. I don't know their financial I don't know their financial statement. I don't know what's going on. I don't know how they make their money. I don't know how they're able to have a 5,000 account or dollar account or 5,000 in their bank account. So I'm not going to compare myself to them. All right. And there's a video that is coming now for episode 4 on comparison to other traders. So what you're going to do is you're going to stop watching people that are flashy. Stop it, because that's where the comparison comes from. First of all, comparison happens because somebody have compared you to somebody or to something. And then you start comparing yourself with that's now printed in your mind that you need to be this, need to be this. Comparison starts from home. You need to be here by now because you're at this age. You're supposed to be doing this. Your mates are doing better. Then that sticks to your mind, right? But now that you're here, you're on the channel, you understand that we are deleting that because you don't have to compare yourself to anyone, because everyone's journey is different. Because you're different. Therefore, your journey will be different. If our journeys were the same, we'll all be doing the same thing because we'll all meet in one direction or in one meeting point. But we are different. Your trading journey is different, is for you. You might have found it a bit later than others. You might have found it first, but you are still lost because you are not there yet. But it's still your journey. You are being prepared to do better. You are being prepared and you are molded to do better. Look at your journey, even if it's taking you too long, look at it as pruning. It's pruning time. You are being cut and seasoned to be ready for that money that you will be making. All right, so you stop watching people who are flashy. Stop it. It's not good for your mind. It's not good. This overstimulation is not working for you. It works for other people. All right. Some people can watch somebody with all these cars. You're watching them doing well. You've been watching them for 5 years, or whatever, 2 years, and they're already doing something, right? And you're like, oh my God, they're already doing this and that. And I'm not. Because you have stick that to your head. So if you know you're those people who are not good with watching other people's doing well because you feel like you are also in the same industry and you're supposed to be there as well and you're not, don't watch them. Try and distract yourself. Get these books I'm talking about, okay? Get the books, invest in your education, write, get a hobby, get away from YouTube. It's not working for you. I'm being serious. It's really not. And you need to track your progress, all right? This is also on the channel and with something that we've been talking about for months. I need you to start tracking your progress. I need you to know when you started, how you started, why you started, where are you now? Okay? Because if you don't track the progress, there is absolutely no way you would know how far you've come. In your surprise, you might have even surpassed the $10,000 mark you've wanted to hit in your trading career, the $30,000 mark that you wanted to hit in your trading career. But you don't know, because you trade, you spend. Every time you lose, you go again to the markets. You've never really put anything down, so you have no clue if there is any progress since last year. And I've been mentioning this. So if it's your first time on this series, if it's your first time on the channel, we track progress here. We track the how, we track the why, we track the when, and we track the where. Where are we? If you're someone who is looking at them losses and you literally want to crawl on the floor, you want to get buried today, every time you see red, listen, track your progress. The first time you saw red, right? Because you're not used to losing, because they said losing is equivalent to harm. They said losing is equivalent to doing bad. Therefore, you can't lose. You're supposed to win all the time, which is absolute nonsense. So now that you understand that, okay, I need to track my progress, what are you going to do? You're going to say, okay, the first time I saw red, I crawled on the floor. I wanted to die. I wanted to be buried today. I was looking for my ancestors, asking if they can take me today. Okay, that was the first time. Now, the second time I took a loss, because now I've written that down, that why do I feel like this when I lost? When I lost something, why do I feel like this when I lose a trade? Oh, okay. And then you discover that, because I can't discover it for you, because I'm not you. That's why I can just tell you how I do it, but I can't tell you the reason why you feel like that when you lose. You would know that. That's why you need to write it down. Okay? So then you write it down. Okay. Now the second time I took a loss, what did I do? I reflected. I said, okay, the first time I wanted to crawl, I wanted to die. I was calling it my ancestors. I wanted them to take me now. But today I understand that, okay, I am okay with losing. Let me decrease, or let me lower my risk, because I understood that at first I went in with 50% per trade. You're not going to do that. I went in full in 50%. I went in full in 50% per trade. Now I went in 10% per trade. And now I don't want to crawl when I took a loss, because my account is still good. My account is still flourishing. My account is still cruising. Okay? That is tracking progress. Because I said, if you understand the how, the why should always be easy. Right? Because now you have an idea as to, okay, so now that if I still feel that 10% or this 5% on every trade I take is too much, I decrease to 4%. Then you would see that the mind will automatically get used to seeing that red. You can even watch the screen while the trade is going down, even if it's hitting your stop loss. It doesn't even matter. Okay? You're going to have to use a stop loss, my love. I need you to use the stop loss, okay? Because the stop loss is to stop the loss from damaging your account. This is why you're looking at losses as pain, because you wanted to lose 1%, or you wanted to lose, in monetary terms, you wanted to lose 500 rands, or you wanted to lose $500. You did not use a stop loss because you think that, okay, you understand this thing, you've been doing this longer, and every trade is supposed to go to your direction. I understand, because we are human beings. Okay, we are on survival mechanism. All right, we don't want losses because we are always on survival mechanism. Okay, we don't want to lose, we want to win. I understand that. I am with you on that. I am like that at times, but I have found ways to deal with that each and every day. I'm not perfect myself. Okay, so if you say, okay, I was supposed to risk 1% and I thought this trade was going to my direction, then I've risked more because there's no stop loss and the trade kept on going, and I was hopeful. Now you're a hopeful trader holding on into red. Now you lost more. You lost over 5%. Okay. Now you're coming out of there, you're walking in the street, you angry at everyone in the world, angry at everyone on the streets like it's their fault, but it's you, because you thought you got this and you can do this because you control it, right? Because you have the AI information, you understand what's happening in the market, you know where is it going to go and how it's going to go, but you don't. So understand that you're wrong, and next time, write that down. Next time, use a stop loss, see how you feel now when you have reduced your risk, because that's what we're working with here. The risk have to be reduced in order for your emotions to not be at risk. Because if your emotions are at risk, your loss would be at risk, right? We already talked about that one in the channel, all right? And I need you to adapt to change. You have to adapt to change, my love. You have to adapt to change. When you were trading your trend lines, now you changed to trading your SMC, whatever name is it now, is it called? Because there's so many names for it. You have adapted to change. It's the same for your losses, okay? If you feel that your 20 pips for your stop limit, which we call it a stop loss, okay, is too little now. Over the past 2 years, you've been using 20 pip stop. Now, your 20 pip stop is no longer working because the market conditions have changed. What are you going to do? You're going to adapt to that. You're going to go back to your chart and you're going to see why is it not working anymore. You're going to backtest a little bit. I'm not saying go back to the time of Tupac and Biggie when you backtest, okay? Or go back to the times of Whitney Houston. No. Michael Jackson. No, I'm saying backtest as in for this month. Backtest for 2 months. Why is my 20 pips not working anymore? Oh, okay. I can see because Trump is in power. Oh, I can see because this president is in power. Oh, I can see that GBP USD, there's a lot going on now. Okay, I can see that Powell have stepped down. Things like that, whatever. And then you would be able to say, okay, I'm going to have to adapt to this market condition and economic condition. And then you would add 40 pips extra. Then now your stop loss is 60 pips. So that you don't take unnecessary losses, because some traders are very good, and I've watched that. I'm watched it myself, that okay, that I used to use 30 pip stop for German 30. Can you imagine? Then I understand that, oh my God, there's a lot going on there with Nike and Adidas. Okay, there's so much going on there in Germany. So I said, now that I'm reading the economic factors of it, I'm definitely increasing my stop loss, because now my trades are going to my direction, but I'm getting hit left, right, and center. So I'm not going to be stubborn just because of I think that I know this thing. I've been doing this for a while. No, but change is needed, and I don't have to affect my psychology because of I don't want change. Because in this channel, we do understand that psychology is logic. It's nothing new. Okay, you don't have to go to a whole class. You don't have to do a whole module of psychology to understand that trading psychology is actually very logic. It's trauma, and you bring your trauma to your charts. Your charts reflect your trauma. From then, you repeat, because you don't reflect, you have not dealt with trauma, you just keep on going. That's where we are now. So we are adapting to change. We have to add or subtract the stop loss, okay? If you feel that you're somebody who swing trades, you have to add, right? So you're going to have to add 10 more pips, because you can see that your 40 pips is no longer good. Don't be scared to adapt to another 20%. But if you feel that, okay, because of the information I've gathered after I backtested, we always backtest. It does not matter if you have 10 years in the market, you will always backtest, because the economy and the market's condition are never going to be the same ever. Every year it's something new, right? So you're never going to be scared to adapt to change. Just like every other trader out there, okay, that is actually doing this for a living. They're not actually depending on sales, okay? And that's that. So thank you so much for watching. Next week we'll be looking at how we compare ourselves and how is that delaying our process and progress in these markets. Thank you so much for watching. See you again on the channel, and cheers.